Durag Wisdom here, folks, and today I'm going to talk about the wonderful speech I saw last night. Bittersweet that this wonderful president we just had is going, and I'm going to miss being able to watch. Sorry about my cough. I have a bad cold, folks, so if I'm coughing or if I sound kind of congested, I'll try to, if I lose my voice, I won't be able to do some broadcasts, but while I can, I am. You know, I'm going to miss being able to, distantly interact with the President of the United States. To see his inauguration, president's or her inauguration, to see their family, and I have to tell you, I love the Obama family. I have to tell you, what a wonderful, I wish I could have had him for another term, but I don't want a dictatorship either, so from one end to the other, but maybe like he could do like what, maybe the Obamas can do like Grover Cleveland did and come back and run again and win. Grover Cleveland, he skipped he came back and he was a president again for another time, I think. But the job is very hard. You look at this President Obama, how gray he got. Wow. And it didn't help that he had all these scumbags, these birther bastard to start with, that creep, that slime. More about him later. But I'm going to miss being able to sit there and watch State of the Unions and little speeches here and there when he appears on little shows, when he does his little, when he's professorial. I love that. Academic. Speaks very well. It was a pleasure after all the stupid presidents I had in this country that I could not watch, to be able to sit there and be able to listen to somebody and hear what they have to say that are intelligent and are, compassionate, who have a vision for the future. I mean, think about it. I'm not saying the guy is perfect. I'm not I'm a sycophant. Sycophant. I'm not a sycophant. I'm not a sycophant of anyone. I mean, I may respect someone, a certain, but I'm not, whatever they do, everything they, like, a lot of these Trumpenstuppens, the people that voted for Trump because he's an asshole. And, as opposed to the people who voted for him in spite of the fact that he was an asshole. So I'm not a sycophant, sycophant with Obama or anyone, and recognize their faults. But this president, I mean, all aside, he was a fine and I'm going to miss. This was the last speech I'm going to see of a president now for who knows how long, because I'm afraid that what's coming to us is going to destroy us, is going to take away things, or try to, if we don't stop them. Because I'm not going to watch. The reason I said that, that was the last presidential speech that I'm going to be seeing for who knows how long, because I'm not going to watch the birther bastard inauguration. I'm not going to watch the birther bastard State of the Unions. I'm not gonna listen or see. Anytime that birther bastard's face appears on my TV screen, I'm gonna either blot out the sound or put my hand over my up above my face, in front of my face, just to keep his image from getting to me. I don't give a shit. I mean, I do give a shit about what he's gonna do to us. That I do, believe me. Believe me. But as for him, I don't want to look at him. It's like, do you want to look at a pile of shit? You want to look at a pile of shit? You want to smell and look at vomit? Same thing. You know, when they talk about pornography, his face is pornography. All right? Obscene material, his face and his party are obscene. So, I won't be able to even watch them. But, this president, I wrote him, and he even sent me a reply. Certain it was probably written by somebody else, but that's okay. Of support. And I'm going to miss this kind of president. A real president. One that understands our history, is intelligent, respects our Constitution, respects our democratic republic, respects freedom of speech, freedom of the press. And this speech, I got to tell you, I could have made it myself. In fact, I did make it myself in a less lofty fashion, of course. I don't want to make myself sound like I'm something that I'm not. This is, But the things he said, I've been saying for years, for months. He said that this is not a post-racial world. And he's right. This is not a post-racial society anymore. It never was. That's the point. Sorry. Everybody thought, I got a black president. Sorry. And I even knew that then. Because there was this growing, all the hate that was underneath that I saw. There was a documentary by Pelosi's daughter where she interviewed people in the Republican voting areas. A nightmare. These people were the roiling rage. And rich multi-billionaires like the Koch brothers, right-wing fascist Koch brothers, are trying to undermine our democracy. They supported these people. Supported something called the Teabagger movement, and they want to undermine our. This is like. So, I understand what I'm losing when this president leaves. He mentioned, and I always said, how much he respects and loves the millennials, the young people. Absolutely. Positively. And I want you all folks to know, whoever's watching this, I don't want to leave these when I call you pathetic schleppers, that's a Yiddish word. Schlepp, when you have to schlep, you have to walk and carry. We on this planet, we have these burdens. So if I call it you or anybody a pathetic schlepper, I'm a pathetic schlepper. Because here we are on this planet. We can work together to make life better. What do? We make it more and more and more miserable. So when he's mentioned how much he loves the young people, it was in my heart. I'm not jealous of you folks because you're young and I'm old. I feel bad for you. I feel like responsible partially. Even though I myself never had any children, I feel responsible. The way I voted or whatever. I will not leave you my own a garbage campsite, but I can't say anything about everybody else. The young people. He said something about economic inequality. That's going to bring down our country and democracy. Because he was talking about what's going to bring down our democracy. The haves and the have-nots. The selfish. The greedy versus those in destitute. And we supposedly have a Christian cabinet coming in. Yeah, quote unquote. He mentioned, very important, that we shouldn't, this President Obama mentioned, that we can't take our democratic republic, our democracy for granted. And this is what we've been doing, folks. This is one of the reasons why I always try to read. I love the movies, so a lot of what you're going to hear here is like, I make movie analogies and stuff. the newspapers, the I want to make sure, novels like 1984. I mean, I can see it with this creep now in his cabinet that's coming in. And then he says, and I mentioned this in my broadcast yesterday, because the Democratic Party is damaged. We are on our own. So you and I, that's one of the reasons I'm doing these broadcasts. It's going to be up to us to stand up, to get started, to get in that birther bastard's face. I'm going to miss President Obama. And I am going to do something. I am going to get up. I am going to reach out. As flawed as I am, as misanthropic as I am, I'm going to try to reach out. Do something. Something. Keep up in that birther's face, that birther bastard's face. Deny them the opportunity to destroy the legacy of one of the finest presidents we've had, and I'm glad to have been able to live under in my lifetime. Flaws, yes, but hey, we had the Cadillac, the limo. What's coming in is the scooter that's broken, that you wheel along, you drive with your leg, your feet. So, folks, President Obama, thank you for that last speech. Thank you. I look forward sometime in the future to have another fine president. I don't know. I hope soon. President Obama, Michelle Obama, Ms. Michelle, her lovely children, to the Bidens, thank you all and bless you. Bless you.